E nā mana, e nā reo, e nā karangatanga maha. We call you into the space, to the ancestors who walk beside us, to the guides who whisper in the quiet, to the wairua that lives within each of us. Welcome.
Here we gather in truth. Here the human story meets the spiritual story, not as two separate paths, but as rivers flowing into the same ocean. We honour the raw, the messy, the beautiful and the sacred in equal measure.
We come with open hearts, ready to share what has shaped us, to hear what your own wairua might awaken in response. This is not just a podcast. It is a remembering, a returning to the self that existed before the hurt, before the forgetting.
So take a breath, settle into the knowing that you are held here, and let the korero carry you back to yourself, back to your wairua.
Kia ora and welcome, beautiful souls, to Activating the Wairua Within, a space where lived human experience and spiritual insight are not separate, but the threads of the same weaving. Here we explore how our stories, our wounds, and our wisdom meet in the middle, guiding us back to who we truly are.
Our journeys have walked through different landscapes, some moments raw and confronting, others deeply reflective and connected to wairua. But what we've learned is that they are never apart. The human experience and the spiritual reflection are two ways of seeing the same truth.
When these perspectives come together, something powerful happens. The lessons hidden in our challenges begin to reveal themselves, and the light within us, our wairua, is activated to lead the way forward.
This space is for truth-telling, for remembering what sits beneath the weight of our experiences, and for discovering that your story already holds the wisdom you've been looking for.
In this first korero, we're laying the foundation, sharing why we're here, the experience that shaped us, opening the doorway into the deep, healing conversations to come.
So come in, take a breath and join us. Each episode will offer you a way to see your own life from more than one angle, both the grounded human story and the higher spiritual truth, and to feel how they're really one and the same.
Let's begin.
So you were saying about your brother having an imaginary friend and he would hold hands, and you were talking about the indent in his hand.
So you could actually see it, and when he'd left, I think I've forgotten the name of it. My brother would the name of his friend, but he said to my mum, he said, "Oh, he's going to go now," and mum said, "Oh, okay," and he never came back. So goosebumps, right? And so but that was the kind of life that I was raised in. Yet when I was seeing things that were happening that other people weren't seeing, I then got and because that does sound pretty out there when you say it like that, but
that's okay.
So what I'm saying is that I would know things were going on before other people knew they were going on. But they were going on, but people just didn't know it, and I thought they knew. So that was the thing, was that the problem was that I was like, well, hold on, aren't we all like this? Can't we all speak telepathically? Aren't you getting messages as well? Like,
you can't hear that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, it's what resonates. Sorry, so just to share with you, I know that I've told you this before, but I know we're both Maori women, obviously, and there'll be other people going, oh, there's a Maori thing. But what's coming up for me when you're telling me about that is the man that raised me, my dad, is a Papatuanuku man. He's a white man, and he had exactly the same thing where he just had this knowing, and he'll walk into the rooms and go, oh, this is happening, and people will be like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you on about? And he, so that's coming from a totally different cultural perspective.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which that's Norwegian. So, I mean, it's it's something. It's something good to note. I think that this is not just a like indigenous to Aotearoa thing. It's a spiritual, higher realm thing. So sorry, I wanted you to
Beautiful.
keep.
I'm so glad you spoke to that. That's so great. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same, and so and along those lines, like my family are Bohemian Gypsies, so my Pākehā side, we're Bohemian Gypsies, so my European side, and they're all very spiritual as well. It's different form of it, different way of being, but you know they are very aware of energy and alchemy, and you know the need to alchemize energy
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the balancing of you know the dark and the light, you know, and knowing that everything is you know working in unison. So it's it's very much a part. And when you look at my lineage, when you look at the Bohemian Gypsy side and the Maori side, like of course,
Yeah. It makes sense, right? It's like a
of
double hit.
course.
Absolutely, and I guess that's I think what I'm hearing as you're sharing that, what I appreciate about what you said was that thinking, isn't everyone hearing this? Isn't everyone? What do you mean you can't hear? And that knowing, how many people are out there now listening, going, "Gosh, that's me. That's exactly what I've been going through," and giving them permission, like you said, to step forward and go, "Actually, yeah, that's how it is." And I guess
And it
the
doesn't mean that I'm mentally unwell. It
no,
doesn't mean that I'm this, and it
exactly,
doesn't mean that I'm that, and
yeah,
all the things that society have like
not
to
crazy.
shove
No, you're
down
not
our
mentally.
throats.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it
yeah,
means that you're gifted. It means that
yeah,
you have gifts and that you have an ability to help people heal. You have an ability to help people be seen. You have an
yeah,
ability to talk to spirit. Like, you know, like there's nothing better than being able to sit down with somebody and say, "Oh, I've got your dad here who passed away. He's just standing at the door here. He just wants to
yeah,
tell you this, 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 and this." And it's
yeah,
everything that that person has needed to hear. There
yeah,
is nothing more beautiful than that, you know, when you
yeah,
miss
yeah.
them. And I know what it's like to miss someone that deeply. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure, you know, we
Exactly.
all.
Yeah, have that but yeah, that the sometimes the healing that comes from, I mean, and, you know, we've spoken about this before, where you are a vessel for that message to come through, but the, you know, the flow on effect, the outcome for you is so beautiful, and you know that just feeds your being, it feeds your spirit, even though you're just a messenger, you're just passing something on. It's the energy is reciprocal. What comes back for you is just as beautiful. And you know, why wouldn't people want to feel? It's another feeling altogether. I don't even know whether there's a word yet on the, you know, the energy frequency scale about what that is. I'm sure there is, but I don't know what it is. But you know, just having those experiences, and I know something that we'll talk to later that I'm wanting to dive into later down the line was, you know, our second meeting, only our second meeting between you and I, and what you saw and the permission you gave me, and the strength that I drew from that conversation around, because, you know, using your gifts to speak to something that was really painful for me, that I was hiding, that I was struggling with. I probably still would have been struggling with without you being so willing to listen to your gifts and speak to what I needed to hear. You know, there's something
Yes.
that's totally different, chat for another time, because it's a whole different story altogether, and so
Yes.
many learnings with that experience. But you know, the whoever's listening to this conversation at the moment, and um, no doubt struggling with everything you've already identified as being the only one, feeling alone, being told you're not well. What I'm hoping, I think we both agreed on before, that the intention behind these podcasts is to try and say it's okay, it's safe. There's a whole collective waiting for you. Yes, we felt the same way. Yes, we know what that looks like. Here's some tools to help you. So there's so much that's here waiting for you when you build the courage, or helping people find the courage to step into that space and connect. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an exciting thing. For me, it was really exciting when that door opened. I was just like, holy shit! There's this whole other whoa, you know, and it just opens up. It just makes the world bigger, brighter. Yes, sometimes daunting. Yes,
Okay.
but isn't that the whole purpose of this experience, is to try and live it to the full, and find out what your capacity is, you know, broaden your horizons. And yeah, it's something that the more you're talking, Katie, it's and sharing all the very real moments of doubt, all the very real moments of questioning yourself, I have no doubt it spoke to me when we first connected. I have no doubt that that's what's happening for other people there too. So it's very much part of our intention to say it's okay, you know, and
Yeah.
open space up for them to connect and yeah, just not feel alone. I suppose is what I just wanted to flag with you.
And I think also understanding that I think as further along I go when I'm in my spiritual journey, practice, whatever, embodying.
Yeah, body.
Yeah. I think, it is important to have some tools and skills there, some
Yes.
little tools in your kitty, some little
Yeah.
tools in your tool belt, just to
Yeah.
help you to ground, to help you to protect yourself, because when you really do step into your spiritual gifts, you're a magnet, but you're also a magnet for both, remember, because we're both.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's important to, do rituals of like clearing your space, clearing your energy, emptying your vessel at the end of the day, and making sure that anything that is not yours is returned back to where it should go. So there's all those kinds of things that is really important that that when you start tapping into your gifts, because there is darkness. There is. We wouldn't have light without the dark, we wouldn't have that. So it's just about making sure that you are using both, because both have a place. Okay, so now that's another one too. So that's a different rabbit hole that we'll go down another time, because that can be quite complex, and it's quite hard to grasp, because especially when you say, well, hey, so you're saying, you're saying that this really bad thing happened to me, and I made it happen to me, and I wanted it to happen to me, and it's like, yeah, I'm actually saying that, and I'm saying that because if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't have the knowledge that you have today if you didn't have that experience. So yes, your soul did call that in, but we'll leave the hard talk for later on down the track.
I know that's and again, that's another massive learning and level of acceptance that comes with that particular topic as well. Again, just speaking from experience.
And I think it's important to make sure people get a little bit more of an idea of the trauma and the trials that I've been through to be able to speak to that, because I'm not just saying it. I haven't just come from this cushy ass life that's like, you know what, like I just think that you should just understand that you have bad things happen to you. Like, no, I've really had some shit happen.
There's a lived experience, it's a lived learning. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm so like, I am so pleased that I went through it, because I wouldn't be able to hold the space that I can hold for individuals, like in the darkest of spaces. I can hold that for you, man, and I can help you heal with that. I can be there with you, and I can help you find your way out of that. I wouldn't have that ability if I hadn't been there. That's it.
Yeah. I guess that's something that a phrase that has helped me level myself out and chill out and be more accepting, as it came from my father. This is all a training ground. It's all a training ground. I don't know. He'd say stuff to me like, I don't know what you're supposed to do, but I'm not sure where you're going, but I know that this is all a training ground for you. And it's literally been something that's just made me go, okay, all right, well, bring it. If there's a training ground, you and I have spoken about putting it into a very practical way of, when you go to the gym, you build your strength up by slowly adding and increasing the weight, right? It's allowing your spirit to hold more weight. It's allowing it to take on more. You're building your capacity. And I know it's this kind of this particular rabbit hole is something that needs a lot more context to it, to allow people to understand that no, we haven't just come from life of perfect privilege with no trauma whatsoever. We've had our own training grounds, that's what we're drawing from that experience. So, and there, I guess you can understand that there's a lot of online gurus that, unfortunately have worked in this space that haven't served people well. And so you can understand that that's trauma for other people as well. But again, it's one of those things that, as this time goes by, we will slowly but surely cover enough ground and make enough of a foundation for people to understand where it comes from and where that talk comes from, it's you worded it for me so much better, but that's something that I hope people take from whatever takeaways they have from this chat. I'm hoping that is what you've just said around, people will go, Oh, so, you're saying to me, I asked for this, I made the situation, I brought it on. You're saying, yeah, you did. I guess it's what helped me reconcile what was, okay, yeah, I did choose to go to the gym. I chose to put 20 kgs onto that weight. I chose to lift that because I want to be stronger. It's very similar to that. It's something to put into a practical notion to help them
And
accept it.
it's also, and because I know I'm capable. I know I can do this,
Yeah.
like it's, and you go back to spiritual teachings, like in the, they say in the Bible, God only gives you as much as you can handle. That's a big one. And God, and so many people go, oh, that's a hard pill to swallow, like, well, he thinks I can handle. Yeah, you can, look, you're still breathing.
Congratulations.
You're still surviving. You're still got this,
Fantastic. He thinks you're amazing. That's why he's given you this challenge. It's a compliment, it's exactly what it is. There was, as you were just saying that there, yeah, what is that? I remember hearing that again, another story we'll probably go into later, but I remember hearing that when my third son was born and the challenges that came with his birth, the amount of people that would come and go, Jodie, God only gives his strongest warriors the biggest task. And man, that triggered me. That triggered
time and place.
Oh man, honestly, I was like, if I heard that now, I'm like, yeah, I accept that. Thank you for believing in my capacity. Back then, there was nothing nice I had to say.
Well, are we going to talk about that? Or should we talk into what's?
Oh yeah, I guess it gives a little bit of background. Yeah, so I'm mama of three boys. My youngest one, he's got spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. He's fully dependent on other adults and other people to feed him, to look after him, to keep him safe. And that was from a birth injury. So yeah, he lost oxygen at birth. At 45 minutes, he obviously suffered a significant brain injury. And I guess why I'm so willing to talk to him, other than the fact he's a big part of my life, is he was, as much as my older two boys brought me certain learnings, this child of mine definitely was a catalyst around an awakening and knowing that there's something bigger and more needing of my time and attention and energy, and so much more than the problems of the flesh, the very real issues that are happening in our human experience, but realizing that those are all distractions from going up into a higher level of a bigger, better game, a bigger play field, a bigger just purpose, So obviously, there's a lot more there with Jacob's story that will come up as we go, and that I'll share whatever parts are relevant to our chats. But yeah, he's a cool little dude. He's still got his own gifts. He's very aware. He's brought a lot of healing and joy to not just me, but his family, my other sons, and our wider whānau. And I think that's where he set a belief in me that there's a higher power at play. What brought that forward for me was that this little boy that's helpless, that's in this wheelchair, I've seen him bring the best out of people. I've seen him get the most beautiful response from people. We were living in a little community on the West Coast called Franz Joseph when he was born. Small community, big personalities. You're bound to rub people up the wrong way. And I had a few people in that community that I didn't have any time for. As far as I was concerned, they were the most, and I'm putting this lightly, the most challenging, difficult personalities that I'd ever come across. I watched this little boy bring out this beauty in these people that I didn't know existed. I watched him speak to, in a spiritual way, their higher being. He brought the best out of them. And so that gave me a deep belief, deep trust that there is there's a whole spiritual realm here that a lot of people are unaware of, that they're not embracing, that they're not stepping into. He was that catalyst for me. So yeah, he's an absolute. People are going to hear a lot about him as this journey goes. They're going to hear a lot about Jacob, and probably feel that they know him on a very personal level by the time I finish speaking about him. But yeah, he's definitely yes. I guess that's a heads up to people that you will hear a lot about my son. You'll hear a lot about how he operates and how the impact he has on me, his siblings, and those around him. Yeah, definitely a special wee dude. So
Yes. And they do say, you know, any child that comes in with high needs, I guess, is usually a catalyst to clear karma for people. So they choose this incarnation so that they can help people to clear large amounts of karma. And that's like just exactly what you're saying, like giving those permission slips for people to go, I have no reason to do this, but I'm going to do it because this feels good. And that in itself, it really helps people to clear out a lot of their negativity and things like that they've brought into this lifetime. So again, more rabbit holes that we are diving down into, but
absolutely,
you know, spirituality, the spiritual world is limitless.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to. And no, yes, he is a very beautiful boy. I haven't even met him, but I feel his wairua, and he is just
exactly
yummy.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, he is. He's definitely one of those kids that yeah. I'll go on to that later. I'm very lucky to have him, but definitely
And he's very lucky to have you.
Thank you. And it's one of those things, right, where someone had said to me, "Oh, he's 10 now, so this would be 8 years ago. You know, you and he made a spiritual contract before he came into, and that triggered me. Man, I just made it massive. I reacted really badly from a very human
very
perspective.
important.
Exactly. It's so important. And that person is still in my life now. And thank goodness she didn't run away. Thank goodness she's still there. But I guess that's around that, that readiness as well. And coming from, the side that we're coming from of, knowing and working in the space now. It's not just one-sided, we're opening a door and going, come on over, we know everything. It's not about that. It's also about us going, oh, we're here, we'll just hover, and if you're ready, awesome, we're ready for you, but if not, that's okay. It's okay. No,
if this is for you, no my heart of my, but if it's not, that's fine.
It's okay.
Keep on scrolling.
Yeah. Keep scrolling. No need to leave negative comments. It's okay.
Please don't.
We hope you find someone that resonates with you,
Absolutely.
So, and I guess that's the beauty of it, is that we're both mothers, we both have children, we both have very real things going on that we're not immune to hurt, to criticism, to power balls, to children's issues at school. Those things are still happening for us. It's I just think we've been able to, I guess I should speak from my perspective. I know I've been able to manage things a lot better and from a place of flow and acceptance, and with that joy now coming from a spiritual perspective rather than just purely sitting in the pain and sitting in the situation and letting that swallow me. It's definitely giving perspective.
Yeah, well, so as we know, as I know, as we know, every time you're about to do something new, something really big, something really create something that is going to create big momentum, you're going to have quite a bit of resistance. So you're going to have these obstacles that come, and hence why it's taken us however many months it's taken us to get here. Because we've just had one thing after the other, kind of. And like for me, this morning I woke up and I've got like this really puffy eye. I don't know if you can see it. I've got a really puffy eye. I've got so it's really distracting. I'm feeling like my frequency is low. I'm feeling very vulnerable in my human, like just so very caught up in my mental plane. So in that mental and I just went, you know what? If I could call it, I could say no, but I just went, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to do it. We're going to keep this. We're going to get this momentum going, and we're going to send the green light on this. And I guess why I'm saying that is that, like, yes, we have the awareness of being co-creators with Source, and yes, we do know that. Everything that's coming into our lives is a mirror image or a reflection of what's happening internally for us. Doesn't mean it's not happening. Doesn't mean we're not still experiencing that. We can, but it does mean that we feel as though, for me, I know from having this awareness and being really giving permission to myself to be in this space, is that I know that I've got the freedom to move through it now.
Yeah.
I know that I've called this in and this is happening for me, and it means that I've got the ability to work through it, and that this is a good thing, and that I can use all the other lessons that I've had along the way to help guide me through this, versus being held in that space, condemned in that space, and being like, no, this is where you stay, is very much a, oh, okay, so this lesson's coming now. All right, well, okay, what does that look like? Oh, why am I going through that? And how much time do I need to put into this? And do I really need to be giving all of my attention to this right now? Well, can I just maybe like move that to the side? And oh, what is that turning up for me? Or is this just like a maybe a little bit of a lesson from the creator? Say, do you really want this, Katie? Do you really want to do this podcast? Do you really want to put yourself out there, even with this thing on your face, even with blah, 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 blah? And I'm just like, actually, I do. Actually, yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep going because this is what I want, you know, and this and that's what I mean. Sometimes you just have to keep going, and you've just got to go through the challenges and just know that it's all set up for you. It's all everything is working,
and you're part of it, and you can it's not happening to you. You are able to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drive it this way. I'm going to take it this way. You know, you are in control. You can create what that narrative looks like. You know, I think that's the biggest lesson for people to see, that once it's that shift and this is happening to me, I'm going to direct this. There's a lesson. I'm going to take it. Thank you very much. Got it.
Yeah, and I can close it out now. Versus I can drag this on until it is suffocated in it, and then I'm like, and how do I get out of this? You know, it's like you go, hold on, this is a lesson, this is happening. Let me have a look at this. Let me analyze it. Let me pick it apart. Let me see what I need from this. Okay, cool, done. See ya. Moving on. But guess what happens? Guess what happens?
You leave it up.
The next fucking big one, my language. The next big one comes in, and because it's like, wow, you've expanded the vessel, so here's your next one.
Yeah,
and go, man, it just doesn't stop, and it's like, well, are you still breathing? Because it doesn't. You've come to, like what your papa said, you know, you've come. This is a training ground. Earth school is the hardest school, guys, but we chose it. We're here, and we want to keep learning. You know, the minute we stop breathing, that's when the lessons end. You know, and then guess what? All of that goes back to collective consciousness. The things that we all think that we're fighting each other. You know, we're all kind of like, I'm in competition with you, and I need to look better than you, and I need to do some this, and I need to do this. Actually, it's we're all one, man. We're all one, man. But like we are,
we're all in the arena fighting our own separate battles, but we're all in that arena.
And all of that energy goes back to where? The one. It goes back to source. So everything that we're all creating all just goes back to source anyway. So why do we need to be in competition? You know, like why are we competing with each other? Because we're all doing the same thing. You know, it's not a competition. We should be.
That's an awareness that needs to come in. That's an awareness there. And I just want to quickly cycle back to something you said, which was so powerful for me that I feel compelled to share. We were talking about resistance, and you know, all these, like, you know, you're talking about, you know, your eye, how you're feeling low, and it's exactly the same. Like I've had family here, obviously, and it's been so good to have them. You know, obstacle. Very much needed conversations. Very. A lot of beautiful quality time that I wouldn't trade for the world. Like it's so good, and at the same time, it would have been easier to go, oh, you know, Katie, I'm tired. I'm going to nap instead. I'm so sorry. You know, all those very real challenges. And what I wanted to touch on, which I know will come up as we progress, and something I shared with you earlier, was we spoke about, you know, the stuff that I've got going on at the moment with you know, this very toxic relationship that I've had to try and pull away from and take the lessons from. And your care for me, and one of our conversations where you said, can you commit to this? Do you have the capacity to do this? And you know, I'd my response back, and I did actually really step back and go, gosh, is this the universe challenging me, or is this not in alignment? Like, you know, and that's a very real thing too, trying to see, is this resistance, or is it not in alignment? What is this? How far do I push this until I go, oh, I actually think it's not alignment? You know, another conversation. But one thing that I talking about Jacob, that I brought forward to this situation with our podcast I want to start, and the very real issues that are happening around pulling away from that relationship, was the times when I've had the most growth, and the times when I've really come out enlightened, empowered, and feel like I've gone through a whole process of caterpillar to butterfly, have been the moments when I've still chosen to show up no matter how hard this shit is, how hard life is going, whatever it's throwing at me. And I drew that from, Jacob's birth, my son's birth, one of the most difficult times in my life, one of the most hardest, emotionally challenging times. Any time was around him, whether it be surgeries. And again, last year, he, as you know, he had 2 months in hospital of surgery after surgery, nearly losing him, and I still chose to show up in some way. And I think when we're talking about resistance, my answer to you that day was, actually, I know the most growth for me is when I still choose to show up, even when things are so hard. When I'm still choosing to show up, the growth.
When
This
I
is a
still
growth.
choose me.
I still choose
When
me.
I still choose me and all of the mayhem, that's when the biggest growth happens, is when I still choose me.
Yeah.
And that's, it was funny because when we first started talking, we were talking about baselines, right?
Yes.
Our baseline.
Lines. Yep, for sure.
And why is it that we always have to wait until we're at like rock bottom before we go, hold on a sec, I better choose me now?
Yeah, exactly.
What is that programming about? What is that?
Conditioning. So conditioning, exactly. Whether you want to put, the mama layer onto it, or the woman layer onto it, or whatever title we put on that conditioning, it is conditioning. To why do we have to feel so depleted before we allow ourselves or give ourselves permission to rest? Or not even, and it's where does that come from? What do we do about it? Are we going to change it? How can we change it? Yes, of course we can. And this is just another one of those moments where we're choosing ourselves. We're choosing what we know has been this calling for ages now, for months probably, and stepping forward into that. No matter the chaos that's happening, no matter the mayhem, it's so important. So there's just a message I want to talk to, was to say, there's going to be so many, not excuses, so many very real challenges that are going to require you to push through, or to still choose yourself over. And again, just speaking from experience, it's exactly that probably the moments of real growth are going to happen when you start choosing yourself, and when all the distractions, all the reasons, all the very real reasons are there for you to tap out and go, no, I can't do it. I promise that's about the biggest moments of growth. So that was the thing that came to me that I want to share. Well, just from the korero about resistance that you had.
And I agree. And I think it's, because we're in such a busy, like the matrix, right? The 3D matrix is just so busy. It's just so chaotic. And there is so much programming around, if I'm not being of service, then am I worth anything, right? So it's that thing. It's the valuing yourself. Yeah. And so, a lot, especially a lot of Maori women, it's like everybody needs to be working, everybody needs to task, everybody needs to be doing something. And if you're not doing something, then what are you doing? Get up, do something.
What you see.
Yeah. And you think about that when you go back to back in the day when everybody worked as a collective and you're in a community and everybody had their jobs, and you didn't want to do less than the other because then your value decreases, and but it's different now, and it's so important that we look at and we maneuver through the world differently because we are living in a different time. Being really intentional, I think, and being really centered, and that's where meditation and quiet walks and giving yourself that space and that time to regulate and just say, and have that conversation with your higher self, have that conversation with your spirit team, if whatever you want to call it, your tupuna, your I'm not saying, your universe, whatever, source, whatever, have that conversation. I would say, so knowing different layers of spirituality, I would say speak to your oversoul, speak to your higher self. Just say, hey, higher self, how you going? See what feeds back, having that so that you're able to align with the things that actually align with you. Because when we look at our world, we are having our own experience here. Like, yes, I've got my 3 children and my husband. I've got my parents that are living, that are living in another house here. And those are my close relationships. But at the end of the day, it's what's happening right here, right now. This is my world, and so if this world right here isn't functioning, then those worlds out there aren't going to enjoy it very much, right? So you're doing it for everybody else as well. So when you come back to that whole being of value, to be of real, genuine, good value, you need to be connecting with all of you, your higher self, the whole order, your whole self. So that you can put your best foot forward and you can step up with value, and so that you can be fully present and intentional in what it is that you are doing and how you are being of service.
I think it's a beautiful way to say to people, giving them permission that, when us as women say we're doing it for ourselves, it's really hard to justify that and hard to, give ourselves permission to do that, because it's selfish. It's all about me. When really, what you just identified there is that if your world's not solid, if your po's not solid, if your well-being isn't running at 100%, then you actually can't be of service to all those people that you love. You can't be. You'll be coming from a very tired, drained space, which isn't, you're not able to turn up as your best self. So, when you shift that perspective that you are actually doing justice to those people that you love by giving yourself that time, it's about everyone else. If it helps people shift their view on
it. If you look at everything as an energetic form, right? So we're all energy, right? So we want the best energy. We want to give everybody the best energy, especially the ones we love, right? Especially our babies. We want to give them all the yumminess, all the best, yummy, awesome energy, so that we can pour it into them, and then they can be a bundle of joy, and it just expands out, right?
Yeah.
If we're depleted, if we're just like, we don't have that yummy energy to give them, what are we pouring into them? We're pouring into them the darkness.
From a deficit.
I'm not even, you know what I mean? Like, so you're pouring in a lower frequency, you're pouring it, and then you pour that into them, and they pour that in, and they give it back to you, and you're just constantly doing that versus giving yourself that time. And that time doesn't have to be like, oh, well, it's like, yeah, good for you, so you can go away and have a retreat and do that. Good on you. But it's not that. It's about waking up half an hour early and saying, I'm just going to have that half an hour for myself, and I'm going to sit in a space of, this is my time. I nourish me here. I intentionally feed myself with positive thoughts. I am the God creator. I am creating a beautiful space. I'm creating a beautiful day for me, and being really intentional about what that day looks like.
Yeah, it's going to go away. Yeah, setting the time. Setting the time for you.
Setting the time for the day. And then when you go and be with your baby, you're like, oh yeah, like I know what tone I want. I know what frequency I'm on. That's it. I know what, and that's it. I mean, and then we can go down the rabbit hole of we're all tones, but anyway, we're all different tones, but we won't do that.
Again, there's so many different corridors.
There's so many.
Exactly. And it's all the stuff that will be, just in this talk alone, there's so many different ways and so many different things that need to be acknowledged and spoken to, that I think is going to resonate with so many people. That there's all different rabbit holes that we can go into. There's depth there. There's and there's a need to talk to all of it. I know that even just now, I bet you that there's been so many moments where we've started talking about something and shifted, and someone's like, oh, I wanted to know more about that. Hold on a minute.
Leave it in the comments, because do we talk about the neurodiversity, or I'm sure they've already picked it up.
Right? I know. ADHD, by the way, guys. It's exactly. It's a whole again. It's another rabbit hole together.
Another rabbit hole. But also, I just want to speak into that. Who isn't? Who doesn't have at least some little bit of it, right? Because we don't all fit into one box, guys. Funnily enough, we weren't all created to be the same. So we are going to have different.
And there's going to be crossovers, there's going to be differences, and that's okay, but
it's unique and so fun to be around.
It's the one. But I definitely want to say it's one of those things where I'm like, if anyone has called on something, like, hold on a minute, we want to bring you guys back to this.
Please.
Absolutely. Please leave it in the comments, because
Bring us back. We need it.
yeah, bring us back. Be grounded. Exactly. But yeah, I think I just wanted to bring us back. My very real human issues that I can hear starting to squawk out there. So I just, while I've got a few more minutes to talk to it, what I wanted to say was that bringing it right back to our intention here, and what we wanted to make sure was clear was that we, again, the permission slip, the intention behind these podcasts is to, just make sure people are feeling seen, feeling heard. These This journey, you're not alone. Everything you've been doubting about yourself, please don't doubt it. Like there's a whole sisterhood and brotherhood, obviously, but waiting for you to, and excited for you to step into it and to see, what gifts you have, what that looks like. And you think about it, that imagine you could be, the missing puzzle piece. You could be the person that a certain collective needs to move their mission forward.
That's right.
You could be doing a disservice to people by not owning your gifts. If you are struggling to tap into it because you think it's selfish and it's self-serving and you haven't got time to do anything for yourself, you are potentially doing a disservice to a whole community of people that can't move forward with their mission until you come forward. So whether that's a way to look at it or not, I don't know. But yeah,
you're driving force forward. But also, I'm going to start very soon in the coming months, where we can do some spaces together, where we can do it online possibly. We could look at that. We haven't spoken about this yet, but where we can do online spaces, or we can do weekends away where you come through to the Coromandel and we do some spiritual upgrade work. Jodie chooses her and she comes through and helps to facilitate that. So we are going to have some spaces where we're going to be able to talk you through that as well, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. And it's there's different layers, obviously, where where people may be saying, well, I've got, this situation going on, or this trauma happening. You and I both come from a space of, yeah, we hear you. We've been through we've been through shit too. Let us help guide you through that to step you into the space faster. There's so many different layers there of assistance and awhi and help that that we have to help, to offer tools to help you. So,
and that we didn't have, but we want you to have.
Exactly. So my haramai is my point around there's just the beginning. There's obviously a lot more korero, a lot more talk, a lot more topics that we will cover as time goes through. And there's just knowing that the main point is here. It's permission, it's invitation, it's activation for the wairua, for that spirit side of you to come forward and embrace that higher being of yourself, that God essence, atua space. Exactly.
Yes.
But what I wanted to ask, Katie, if you wanted to close this off with some kind of intention or affirmation, or was anything coming up for you in a way that you wanted to? Did you want to leave everyone with something to empower them for the week or for the days ahead? Was there anything you had in mind there?
I think that the big thing for me with everybody is, as they step into your spiritual space, is just, it is about being intentional beings. So really it is about, giving yourself that 30 minutes a day to really sit with yourself, speak to your higher self, say, what is it that my soul wants to tell me? What is it? What is it that I'm not hearing? Just really having that internal dialogue going on. I think that's really important. And then also remembering that we are all energetic beings. So we are all pulling in all the wairua, all the energy around us. So it's really important to send that back, So I clear this back to I clear whatever does not belong to me back to source with love and light. I send you back. I said, sorry, anything that does not belong to me, I clear back to source with love and light. And so that's just emptying your vessel so that you're able to then bring in more love and light and more happiness and more of what you want. And you're not held back from old energies that aren't yours. So that's kind of
building your capacity, allowing to hold bigger and better things. Exactly.
Yeah. So there's some little nuggets. And you can close with karakia.
I can close. Yep, absolutely. So,
Oh,
so but
unless you had some intentions you wanted to
I think
first. Sorry,
just
my bad.
no, what I love that you said was about sending the energy back. It's not, I've as you know, Katie, I've had moments where I'm like, is this mine? Is this feeling mine? I felt completely fine 5 minutes ago, and now I'm feeling like this. It's not always ours. We don't have to own it. We don't have to hold it. We can send that back to, or give it to Creator and let Him deal with it. So, but that was. I'm grateful that you brought up that, because that's something that's I've been really, really holding on to and using as my tool of strength at the moment, I suppose. Was just, I don't have to take that. I don't have to own that. So, yeah, if that's just a stepping stone for anyone, I know it's a stepping stone for me to say, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to take that. Oh, cool. No, see you later. So,
I'm back.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, sure. I'm happy just to end it with the same way we started when the karakia. Yeah, so haumea ki roto, haumea ki waho, haumea ki runga, haumea ki raro, haumea huie, tae ki e. Short, sharp, and sweet. But yay, I'm so excited for the rest of our korero. There's so much more to come. And I hope everyone has taken something from this and would be interested to know what the biggest takeaway was in the comments there. And we've got a little visitor behind us coming in, which is so exciting.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. A beautiful week, everyone. Nui te rāps. Okay, ka kite.
Ka kite.